Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Abby. I'm with Fitness is Medicine. Today I'm going to give you another great workout you can do in your home with minimal equipment and not a lot of space. So make sure you come into these workouts warmed up and ready to go. We're going to start with these dumbbells. That's why I'm holding them. And a fit ball. So you need those two pieces of equipment. If you don't have a fit ball, you can do this on your back on the floor. And that's just fine. We can hold a bridge instead of doing the bridge on the ball like I'm going to show you. And then like a chair or a bench or something to do some sit to stands. We're going to use a band and another tube or a band depending on what you have for triceps, and I'll show you how we're going to do that. So make sure you come into these workouts warmed up and ready to go. Warmed up, got your muscles ready to move. So we're going to start with a bridge here. So keep your weights kind of on your, close to your center of gravity here. And we're gonna walk out into a bridge. So your head and shoulders are resting comfortably on top of the ball. So we don't wanna be way back here and you're holding your head up. And similarly, we don't wanna be all the way here. So right in between, hips up towards the ceiling so you have a nice flat surface between your knees and your shoulders. Press those weights straight up. We're going to do chest flies. So I would say probably a little bit lighter on the weight. We're going to let them come out to the side and then bring them straight back overhead. 2. A couple things you can do here. If this is hurting your shoulders, you can bend your elbows. 4. Also, you can grab some lighter weights. 6. 7, if it's still bothering your shoulders, let's just do a chest press instead. So this is the next level. If this chest fly is just too much for your elbows or your shoulders. And last one, all right overhead, bring them straight back down to your chest and walk right back up. Okay, great. So next, we are going to do sit to stands. So get a good, like a kitchen chair is great for these, or if you have a bench like I have over here is great too. I'm going to make sure I have my dumbbells out of the way so I'm not going to be worried about tripping over them. So we're just going to stand up and sit back down. The reason why I really like sit to stands is because it makes you go into a perfect form for a squat. So if you can, do this without your hands, keeping your hands right out in front. It makes you sit back because you're going to sit down into that chair, right? If you're having knee pain with this, stagger your feet. You can put one foot forward, put one foot back just a little bit. And what that does is it's keeping your center of gravity closer to your feet. So like if you're having trouble getting up out of a chair, like a recliner or a sofa or really anything, scoot to the edge of that and then transfer your weight. Tubby came to help again today. He's been helping a lot lately. And then the other thing too is when you're getting out of a chair that might be too cushy or too low to the ground or too, like I said, scoot to the edge and really stagger those feet because this foot that's back, my left foot, is much closer to my center of gravity. So it's easier to come up over it versus if I'm out here and I'm sitting back in a chair and I try to, stand up here, it's a long ways to where my center of gravity is way back here to get over my feet. Okay, those are just some little tips. Now we're going to grab a TheraBand and we're going to do some reverse flies. So we're going to do this in a tandem stance to get a little bit of balance. Bring this up just a little bit. So again, make sure everything on your floor is out of the way. We're going to put one foot in front of the other, put this straight out in front. So we did chest flies, and now we're doing reverse flies or back flies. So this is just about shoulder height, a little bit lower. Squeeze back. Really think about squeezing those shoulder blades as you pull back, keeping those shoulders down away from your ears. 8, 9, and 10. Now, if you're having shoulder pain with this, if it's too much, you can either come down here and do it, or you can bend your elbows a little and do them more like this. And that's okay. It's still working those postural muscles, those shoulder stabilizers, your posterior delts, All of those really good stabilizing muscles. Okay. Now we're going to do another lower body exercise. This one is a little bit of balance and a little bit more kind of full body. Make sure you've got kind of a wide area here to move. We're going to start off with just some sidestepping, and our goal is to sidestep and reach towards that toe. So we're going to sidestep, reach, sidestep, reach. Now, if you're able to do that and it's relatively pain-free, or completely pain-free, but relatively simple is what I meant to say. I don't want any pain. We're going to make it a little bit more difficult. So I'm going to have you reach over like this and step back and touch that toe. So reach over, step back, touch that toe. So it's a little bit like a skater. If you've ever seen like a speed skater, you know, and they're going back and forth like this. It's a little bit like that, but in a slower range of motion, focusing a little bit more on balance. So sidestep over, this leg just comes back, and it's almost a lunge, but not really. You're just bending that front leg, going down and reaching that toe. So come up in between each time, reach down. We're gonna go 2 more each side. And then if this is too much, you know, if you wanna just step back and not quite bend all the way down, that's okay. Find something that is a good challenge for you, but not too much. Not to the point where you're like, I can't do this, I feel like I'm gonna fall over, or I can't do that, it hurts my knee. Find one of those lower levels and stick with that through, and just keep moving throughout the whole movement. Okay, now we're gonna come over here. I've got my tube set up. We're gonna do some triceps extension. Get it turned a little bit more here. Okay, so we're gonna take this tube here and we're gonna go straight down beside your hips. So, you know, we've done some where we pull down like this, your lat pull down, and then we've done your rows. And then we can even do a straight arm one, but this one I want your elbows bent. You're gonna start this up here by your shoulders and then press straight down, only moving your elbows. Now notice I've got my weight staggered here just a little bit, my feet staggered, so that my back isn't taking any of this. So I don't want your feet together. I want them just staggered a little bit, not in a tandem stance. I realize that I have my camera pretty high here. But just a little bit of a staggered stance to keep that back protected. So right here and straight down. So we're working those muscles right in the back of your arm. So I'll push this down. It's right here. You can see my triceps right there. It's those muscles that straighten your arm. It's 3 heads of that muscle, the triceps. 8, 9, and 10. Good. So if you don't have a band that's quite strong enough for that, you can step further back. You can wrap it around a few times. Sometimes I just loop it through here a few times, and that helps it give a little bit more resistance. You can double up bands, and similarly, if it's too much, just step a little closer and get a little less resistance from those tubes. Okay, now we are going to go right back to that bench that we used for your sit-to-stands. And we're going to do a double knee lift. Sitting in that chair or that bench, your coffee table works really great for this. But you put your hands underneath your thighs like this. They're facing down. My palms are facing down. And we're going to lift your knees up off the floor. So your goal is to try to lift both feet at the same time. And there's a few things to think about here. First of all, don't lean back to pick up your knees. Then you're just using momentum and not using the abs like I want you to here. So the reason I have your hands underneath your thighs is so that you can push down a little bit. I'm going to push down with my arms. And almost think about crunching towards those knees. So if you find that you're kind of picking them up one at a time like that, that's okay. You're working towards it. You're going to get there. But halfway through, maybe see if you can pick the other foot leg up first. So lifting them up like that, but really also not here. You don't want your shoulders up around your ears. You want to keep those down. Think about putting your shoulder blades in your back pockets, right? I've said that before. Just take a breath before you start. Breathe out as you pull up. And your goal is to get to 10. If it's just too much and you know you're doing it right, try to, and you can only get to 5, that's okay. Do a set of 5 and then rest. Maybe try 5 more. But you're pushing down just slowly and controlled, lifting up those knees towards your chest. Okay, great. Now, repeat through them if you have time. If you only have time to get through these one time, that's okay. The fact that you're doing something and you're getting some resistance on your muscles is great. It's great for your bones. If you've got osteoporosis or trying to prevent osteoporosis, there's a lot of reasons to keep moving. So do them once, do them twice, do them 3 times. You can kind of make this your own workout. That's why it's kind of fun to have this as your own video, where then you can press pause, go off, do 5-minute cardio, come back, do them again. You know, make it the length that you need and that you want. And then don't forget to follow up with some good stretches when you're all finished. All right, thank you everybody. Have a great week and we will see you next time. Thank you so much.